We've explored the battles of ice, steel, and fire. Now we climax with the most mysterious theory of all. In the Winds of Winter, how will Euron Greyjoy defeat his foes? What will he summon from the deep? Will he seize Oldtown itself? This is the Battle of Blood. Special thanks to Preston Jacobs, Paul Quentin, and Genghis Kazoo for inspiring this video. Let us leap back a few dark pages. After the mysterious death of King Balon Greyjoy, his brother Euron returned from exile, his lips stained blue from shade of the evening, his blood eye hidden beneath a black patch. Euron crushed the King's Moot with promises of Ironborn glory. He wants to marry Daenerys Targaryen, bind one of her dragons to him, and seize the Iron Throne. After murdering dissenters and securing his power, he launches a campaign of blood across the coast of the Reach. For more detail, check out The Real Euron. But to summarise, the Ironborn storm the Shield Islands, and each one is granted to a new ally of Euron. The Crow's Eye does not expect to keep the Isles, but he wants to start his campaign off with a success, and prove himself to be a generous king. Next, they attack the Red Wine Straits. The Arbor town of Rhymes-Port is sacked, Vinetown and Starfish Harbour are snatched and used as bases to prey on ships bound for Oldtown, and several isles around the Arbor itself are seized and ransacked. Stonecrab Bay, the Isle of Pigs, Mermaid's Palace, Horseshoe Rock, and the Bastard's Cradle. In one of these little islands, the Lord and his family are hanged. The Red Oarsman calls them pigs, so this must be the Isle of Pigs. The celebrations will not last for much longer. The Red Wines and Hightowers are striking back, and a terrifying naval battle looks imminent. The time has come to break down the two factions. On one side we have the Ironborn, a motley assortment of raiders and reavers. King Euron Greyjoy is a sadistic, sorcerous pirate who murdered his own brother to steal the Seastone Chair of Pike. He is a cunning man, not just politically, as we see in the Kingsmoot, but strategically as well. During the Greyjoy Rebellion, it was he who orchestrated the burning of the Lannister fleet while they were still anchored at Lannisport. His years of exile have granted him hallucinogenic drinks, a dragon-binding horn, and a suit of Valyrian steel armor, at the very least. What other magical items is he hiding away? What dark arts has he learned on his travels? Euron commands the Silence, a dark red ship of mongrel mutes, boasting the Crow's Eye sigil. Euron claims the support of several powerful Ironborn men, but there are only a few we know for certain are at the Red Wine Straits. Left-hand Lucas Cod belongs to a house whose words are literally, "Though all men do despise us." He certainly lived up to his family's reputation. He throws sexist insults towards Asher Greyjoy at the King's Moot, forces himself upon one of Lord Hewitt's daughters, and strips down beautiful tapestries to wear as cloaks. His fellow nobleman, Pinchface John Meyer, brought Euron a dozen longships even before the King's Moot. The Red Oarsman boasts fiery hair and coaxed the ships of the Shield Islands up the Mander to allow Euron to attack the Isles themselves. He is a true thug, boasting about sending the inhabitants of the Isle of Pigs down to hell, mocking Aeron's sexual abuse, and threatening to spank Asher until her ass turns as red as his hair. Man, this guy's got issues. Tallwalled Browntooth helps the Red Oarsman in providing bait for the Shield Islands. We know little about Stonehand, except his devotion to the Crow's Eye, and we basically know nothing at all about Rogan Saltbeard. What we do know is that these are the most evil Ironborn, the vilest products of a vile culture. Euron's younger brother, Victarion Greyjoy, is the Lord Captain of the Iron Fleet, and an experienced admiral. Yet he won't be taking part in this upcoming battle. Euron orders him to take 100 ships to Slaver's Bay to woo Daenerys and blow the Hellhorn. The Iron Fleet boasts around 1,000 longships, which means Euron commands roughly 900. Yet off the coast of the Isle of Pigs there are only 36 in sight, so where are the other 860 odd ships? Of the 3 dozen present, Euron orders captive holy men to be tied to the prow of each and every one. Mutilated septons, priests, and warlocks. He also has his brother Aeron and his pregnant lover Thalia Flowers bound to the prow of the Silence. Now for the other faction, the Iron Throne itself. When Cersei Lannister was Queen Regent, she was reluctant to help the Reach against the Ironborn, thanks to her bitter, paranoid hatred towards the Tyrells. While Euron was seizing the Shield Isles, the Red Wine Fleet from the Arbor was besieging Dragonstone. After it falls, the ships begin their journey around dawn towards the Ironborn. This fleet is commanded by Lord Paxter Redwine, recently appointed as the Master of Ships by Lord Regent Kevin Lannister. He unsuccessfully besieged Storm's End during Robert's Rebellion, but successfully led his ships into battle at the Blackwater. His is the single largest fleet in Westeros, boasting 200 warships and 1,000 merchant ships, cogs, galleys, and whalers. That means 1,200 ships will be sailing hard to catch Euron from the south of the Red Wine Straits. Another fleet threatens Euron from the north. The Hightowers rule over the port city of Oldtown, which is at threat from a potential direct attack. Oldtown is the richest city in the Seven Kingdoms, a nexus of trade, faith, and scholarship. boasting the Hightower fleet, the citadel of the Order of Maesters, and the Starry Sept. And of course, the Hightower itself. Lord Leighton has not descended the tower in a decade. In anticipation of Euron, he is apparently consulting books of spells with his daughter, Melora the Mad Maid. His sons are given tasks. Sir Baelor Brightsmile is building more galleys, Sir Garth Greysteel is training new troops, and Sir Gunthal commands the defences of the harbour. Sir Humphrey Hightower was sent to the free city of Lys, where he hopes to hire sail sails. His sister Lynesse may help. She is, after all, the concubine of the merchant prince Tregor Ormolan. At the Isle of Pigs, Stonehand claims that Leighton's sons are moving down the Whispering Sound to catch them in the rear. This means that Baelor may have finished building his ships, and Humphrey may have returned with Lyseni sellswords. The Battle of Blood is approaching. The Red Wines and Hightowers wish to trap Euron in a pincer movement. This was the same move used by Stannis Baratheon to destroy Victarion's Iron Fleet during the Greyjoy Rebellion, except that time it was the Fair Isle Straits. This is no accident. The Crow's Eye has proven his cunning. He wants a fight. Various visions have pointed towards this conflict. The Red Priest Makoro has seen a tall and twisted thing with one black eye and 10 long arms, sailing on a sea of blood. At the wall, Melisandre looks into the flames and sees towers by the sea, crumbling as the dark tide came sweeping over them, rising from the depths. She also describes the towers being submerged beneath a black and bloody tide. When Aeron Greyjoy is force-fed Shade of the Evening, he sees Ironborn longships adrift and burning on a boiling blood-red sea. According to all of these visions, the sea will be bloody. This could be metaphorical, or chillingly literal. Valenna Tolland tells Arianne Martell that blood on the sea draws krakens to the surface, while Tumco Low tells Barristan Selmy that big squids drag whole ships beneath the waves in the Basilisk Isles. According to one theory by Preston Jacobs, Euron may have filled a great cog with blood, and will spill it across the sea, coaxing krakens to the surface. Or he may summon them with magic, perhaps by sacrificing the holy men and warlocks tied to the prows, or even by sacrificing his unborn child in Phalia's belly. There is power in King's blood after all. Regardless, the Krakens will tear apart the Hightower and Redwine ships, dragging them beneath the waves, sending the rest fleeing in fear, only to be caught by the rest of Euron's fleet. The 36 Ironborn longships will be protected, again, perhaps due to eldritch sorcery involving the holy men or the unborn child. Aeron has visions of Euron summoning a kraken and also bearing a face of writhing tentacles. This, along with the fact that Euron may have been visited by Bloodraven as a child, points to him being a skin changer, who may warg a kraken to unleash upon his enemies. Melisandre's visions of towers collapsing may refer to 3 towers by the Redwine Straits. Perhaps the chaos of the krakens will send bloody tidal waves onto the land, or perhaps the tower refers to the High Tower itself. There are 3 possible ways this battle may end. Euron may move onto King's Landing itself, with 900 ships and a few dozen krakens at his back, or he'll die during the battle. Maybe he summons a kraken and gets eaten, a victim of his own hubris, but that would be pretty anticlimactic. No, I suspect he will turn his eyes to Oldtown. A peaceful mainlander city, a hub of trade, a haven of the Faith of the Seven, home to an order of anti-magic intellectuals, Oldtown is the antithesis of everything Euron Greyjoy believes in. His motivations may be purely destructive. He will plunder the city, slaughter its denizens, defile the Starry Sept, and burn down the citadel like it's the Library of Alexandria. Once he's stolen its magical items, of course. We know there are glass candles, and an old tome locked away in a vault called The Death of Dragons. Or he may try to seize the city and make it his own, perverting it from a nexus of enlightenment to a bastion of evil, ruling from the High Tower itself like Saruman in Isengard. In Aeron's visions, he sees Euron blowing a horn and summoning dragons and krakens and sphinxes. Krakens are summoned by blood, dragons will be summoned with Dragonbinder. Do the sphinxes represent his upcoming conquest of the Citadel? Euron may rule over his new domain with a new wife. Aeron hallucinated a tall shadowy woman with pale fire in her hands. This could be Daenerys, who Euron wants to marry, or the wildfire-obsessed Cersei, who Euron wants to marry in the show. It could also be Melisandre, if she abandons her faith and worships the Great Other instead of the Lord of Light. After all, George R.R. Martin did commission a pale Melisandre miniature. His mysterious new bride, however, could even be Melora the Mad Maid. It's possible that Leighton Hightower is dead, and Melora has been ruling Oldtown in his stead. The Mad Woman may join forces with Euron and betray the city to his reavers. There are wildcards scattered throughout Oldtown. Sam Tarly is studying there with his new friends. Alaras the Sphinx, who's probably Oberyn's bastard Sir Alyssand in disguise, lazy Leo Tyrell, who's a bully and a racist, and a friendly novice named Pate. Sam has 2 important things with him. Mance Rayder's son, and an old war horn from beyond the wall. The child's king's blood may be of use to Euron, and the horn may be the horn of Joramun itself, a legendary item that can allegedly bring down the wall. Sam Tarly may have unknowingly brought the key to the apocalypse to a madman. I lied about Pate, by the way. He used to be a friendly novice, until he was killed by the Alchemist, a faceless man who then stole his identity. In the chaos of the invasion of Oldtown, will he try to steal a glass candle, or the death of dragons? As if things weren't chaotic enough, Urswick the Faithful and a remnant of the Brave Companions are heading to Oldtown as well. These sadists may take part in the looting. Or perhaps Euron Greyjoy will not be as triumphant as we assume. At the Wall, Sam Tarly trained his archery skills with Ulmer. Adorus has a longbow of Goldenheart, the range of which is only bested by a dragonbone bow. Sam was also blessed by warlocks of Karth as a child, when they made him bathe in Auroch's blood. Randall Tarly needs to be on some kind of list. Euron, meanwhile, may have been cursed by the warlocks he captured. With his newfound skills, a useful bow, and Karthine magic, Sam the Slayer may unleash an arrow into Euron Greyjoy's smiling eye. Such a confrontation has been foreshadowed. Leo Tyrell mockingly calls Sam a Leviathan, and in the Merman's court at White Harbour, the wall is adorned with a painting of a Kraken and a Leviathan locked in battle. This would kind of render Euron's entire story a bit pointless, but it would be pretty cool for Sam. There is, of course, one final option. Leighton Hightower and Melora the Mad Maid have not been wasting their 10 years in the clouds. They've been scouring over schematics, searching through scrolls, tearing through tomes. With Citadel ingenuity and esoteric magic, Lord Leighton may transform the Hightower into a powerful mecha to protect the city and fight against the giant kaiju Kraken walked by Euron Greyjoy. The ensuing fight will go down in Westerosi history, if not literary history itself. Bravo, George. So that's all 4 of the upcoming battles dealt with. There will be more A Song of Ice and Fire videos to come, and you better believe I'm diving into The Elder Scrolls and The Witcher very soon. Guess what though? New merch. Why not grab a Kraken Mecha t-shirt, or a Fantasy Haven cap for the summer? Links are in the description below, fantasyhavenmerch.com. Let's fucking go. Check out The Real Euron right here. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and feel free to check out the Patreon. We've got videos, teasers, Discord access, etc. Special thanks to all of my patrons, in particular Andre, Caden, Colshot, Devcole, Itchaboi, Elias, and Morphy. See you next time.